Good day and welcome back to another Dbz Dokkan Metal video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the Omega Shenron and previewing him as he was announced on the Dokkan Battle Twitter. Now he originally was supposed to come out with Goku way back in November, but with the way global schedule works he basically got sent all the way into Jan. It's always weird like that. Hopefully once the sync occurs these things won't happen anymore. Alongside this we'll be getting the new Omega Shenron stage, and we should also be getting the LR Baby Extreme Z Awakening, which will all be pretty good. Now to take a look at the Omega Shenron, he is a GT Bosses lead, which is pretty cool. Ki +3, HP attack and defense 200%. He is a Carnival unit, so you will be summoning on a Carnival banner. He has Brutal Beatdown, Big Bad Bosses, GT, Fear and Fair, Shadow Dragons, Fierce Battle, and Legendary Power. Stock standard link set, one would imagine, for a legendary Omega Shenron. Catastrophe, born of Malignant Energy as his passive skill. He activates the entrance animation upon his entry once only, charges in key and changes in key spheres to rainbow key spheres for 7 turns from his entry. He gives all enemies minus attack and defense at 25%, Ki +3 and attack and defense at 200%, and he has an additional attack of 20% with each attack performed. He gets Ki +1 and reduces damage received by 5% per GT Bosses category ally on the team. So that means in a full team of GT Bosses category units he has a max damage reduction of 35%, plus an additional damage reduction of 7% per rainbow key sphere obtained, which you can only get 5 rainbow key spheres max. So what that means is basically he can have a max damage reduction of 70%. If HP is 50% or less at the start of the character's attacking turn, he will revive with 70% HP recovered when the character or an ally attacking the same turn is KO'd. His attacks are effective against all types, and he launches an additional super attack starting from the turn in which his character revival has occurred. So pretty interesting. 200% defense with his baseline stats should come out to being pretty good. With Big Bad Bosses and everything, his damage reduction, although inconsistent, could be pretty solid if you can manage to float or provide 2 or 3 GT Bosses category allies on the team. The big thing with him is he's not restricted to GT Bosses, but obviously his strength defensively will be directly correlated to it, so you do have to keep that in mind, and he's not on a lot of categories anyway. Outside the GT Bosses, you're either running him on full power, Inhuman Deeds, Transformation Boost, or Powerful Comeback, realistically, maybe Power Absorption. He does have an active skill which can be activated when the target enemy is in attack or defense down, starting from the 3rd turn or starting from the 6th turn, which I think is fine. Greatly raises attack, causes ultimate damage, and lowers attack and defense by 30%. Disables the enemy's actions. I think overall this is pretty good. The lowering attack and defense that he has is kind of something that's tied into Omega Shenron. So a lot of people say, well, why did they give it to him? It's not useful in Red Zone, blah, blah, blah. It's something to do with his character. Like all Omega and Sin Shenrons have attack down. You'll see Strength Omega Shenron, Physical Omega Shenron all have this. It's just something that's in their kit. And then in terms of super attacks, he raises defense for 1 turn with high chance of stunning the enemy on the 12 key. And then on the 18 key, he greatly raises defense while sealing super attack. Overall, he's pretty good. I like him. He's not super duper OP, but he's pretty fun. The damage reduction I think is good. It's a little bit inconsistent. It's going to depend on your team. You will probably need AGL LR Baby, maybe Android 17s, the combo units. But if you can make it work, if you can get enough characters, and you get a little bit of luck with rainbow orbs, you should be averaging like 40% damage reduction, which is pretty good. His start turn defense should be pretty fine, 200% defense, and his attack stat grows with each attack stat. He's going to be good, just a little bit limited, which is the only shame. But yeah, I would say overall pretty good stuff. We'll take a look at his animations now. He will be coming, I believe. They usually announce this 2 days before, so either Wednesday or Thursday depending on your time zone. But yeah, he's pretty good. Carnival banner units, we'll have to look at his banner, but yeah, we've seen obviously from the JP side that he's pretty decent. I think animations wise he looks pretty good. The intro animation is really, really well done, and I would say across the board his animations are all really, really well done. If you're into GT, I think Dokkan is one of the better ways to really enjoy seeing the characters, the way they've crisped up the animation comparative to when it was first released, and just kind of taken all the best non-repetitive scenes from all of the attacks and everything, just kind of put everything together really nicely. Makes a lot of the GT stuff look really good. And Omega Shenron is no different. He looks great, the shading on him looks good, the lighting, the animation, the varied super attacks, the varied attacks that he does. It feels like they busted out everything Omega Shenron can and could have done into one card, which is good and bad in a lot of ways, but I think, you know, from an animation point of view and from a technical point of view, he looks great. I think from a kit point of view, he's pretty good, and I think overall, probably as good as an Omega Shenron could be. I think now, you know, Omega Shenron's in an okay place. I think with all the advent of, you know, the Super 17s, the baby EZA, you know, I think he's in an okay place. We do need some more GT help though. He still feels like he's maybe I would say 1 or 2 units away from having an incredibly powerful GT Bosses team. And that's no slight to him, that's just how it feels. But with that being said, he's still going to be great.